Hi everybody, my name is Taylor Green. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
My name is Rhys, Barber. I'm one of the other audiologists here at Audiology. Sorry, we're laughing because we count ourselves in to start the video and I kept forgetting to press play. So I was waiting for Taylor to say something. He wasn't saying anything, so it's my fault. Anyway, this is my patient to start with. You can see it is a mess in this ear canal. Lots of wax and oil and debris and all sorts going on in here. It's just completely chock-a-block. It's not going to be a clean removal. This one is just too much debris everywhere. But yeah, it's starting to come away. It's quite hard, this first section. Bit of skin there as well.
Yeah, again, quite a tricky removal.
You can always tell it's going to be, if it's going to be sort of really messy in there, it's just how it looks at the entrance to the canal. If there is little blobs of wax stuck all the way around the outside part of the ear canal, you just know it's not going to be an easy removal to do.
Depending on how it starts moving as well, you just kind of know, you're like, oh, here we go, how much time have we got?
Yeah, that's right. That big chunk of skin just came away then. So we're just going to lift from the base of the canal here. You can see that skin lifting up from that base of the canal as well. So this is a chunky old plug. Make sure you stay tuned for the second removal, which is Taylor's, because there is some, we've got foreign body in that one, which you can explain.
It is a foreign body. Really interesting one, because it's something that we don't see in clinic very often.
I've never, I don't think I've ever come across it.
That's the second one.
The second one, not
the same patient.
Yeah, that's
the same patient.
So, is it, the second time they've done it?
Second time on the same patient.
Oh, well. So you can see this long strip of skin on the one side here. I'm just trying to pull this out. What's happening here is the skin's still attached to the canal wall. So this is just this very thin keratin layer that's come away from the canal wall. We've said before with the eardrum, the top epithelial layer that's in the eardrum forms the ear canal wall skin, and then as that migrates to the outer part of the ear canal, that skin cell starts to die, starts to fill with keratin, so starts to harden. So what we got here is this hard section that's sitting around this softer plug on the inside. And it's a real difficult one to remove just because there's bits of this keratin skin interwoven into the plug as well. So when you get a grip, it doesn't want to come away. That keratin's holding it together. You can see I'm just hovering over.
Yeah, you should see it slowly just kind of drawing these little bits away, but it's obviously coming away in little pieces.
Yeah, and that is when it's frustrating when you get, we were saying for a patient, we can see our skin, so that keratin layer coming away there. We were talking about, I forgot my train of thought's gone now. We were talking about skin for some reason. Oh, we were talking about suction tubes. That's what it was. Sorry. When you suction in some of these waxes in, they block the suction tube really quickly, and that's what happens here.
This almost kind of looks pre-keratosis obturans in a way.
Yeah, that's
thick, dead skin
wrapping around that plug. I think if that plug wasn't there, we may end up with it's sort of almost curling back on itself.
Yeah.
Just lifting from the bottom. And I'm looking for any gap because we've got that really awful combination of that thick clay wax and then this really hard keratin skin layer that's interwoven through it. So not an easy one to do by any stretch.
You just kind of hope you just start seeing the whole plug starting to move forwards.
Yeah.
And you're pulling on this little bit, you can just see in the bottom corner, or on the other side of your screen, sorry. It's just not moving at all.
No.
It's literally just coming away in sections.
And what you'll tend to find is almost like you take it like a punch, like a melon ball almost. So you drop it onto that softer wax, and it'll take a circular section and pull that away. But you're not taking a tremendous amount away. And then the skin, you can see that keratin layer that's come away from the surface of the canal wall there, just lifting and getting involved and getting right in front of the suction tube all the time. Just hampers everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you find, or I find, sometimes you have to swap to the fine end then, because when you're trying to remove these plugs with the standard size on the tube, those little bits of skin that are starting to peel away, they just start to clarinet, which is a term that we use for almost like a really shrill kind of like whistling noise that the suction tube makes. And it is loud, and it's loud for us, and you can imagine how loud that'll be inside somebody's ear.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
It's chipping away, it's coming away slowly. I can't even see the eardrum at the moment, so this patient's been blocked. I mean, goodness knows how long this wax has been building in this patient's ear canal, because this is not an overnight thing. This has been hanging around in there for a long, long time. Even by the colour of the wax, it's much, much darker in colour. You know, looking at how much keratin there is in there as well, this has been sort of lingering around for a while. Well,
we do try and recommend to most patients about, you know, getting their ears checked on a regular basis, but you know, it's very easily forgotten for most people, and you know, they only tend to book an appointment when they have a problem.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know, it's better to catch it early rather than, you know, if you know wax is a problem, just have like the dentist or the opticians, you know, just get your ears checked on a regular basis, and it'll make life so much easier for us and you.
Yeah, that's right. And on that note, if you do need your ears checked at any point, you can always check out the bio. It's got a link to our website. You can book yourself an appointment with the amazing Mr. Rhys Barber. Or Taylor.
And the almost...
Sorry, buddy. The fabulous Mr. Taylor Green. And you can come along and see one of us, and we'll get that sorted out for you. Don't forget, if you do enjoy the videos, like, heart, share, follow, subscribe. Awesome. Thank you so much. There we go. Now this, you can see, just, yeah, job here is done. This really thick and sticky wax on the outside edge here. You can see I'm peeling this away. It's almost around what they class the annulus, which is that sort of thick fibrous ring that goes around the outside of the eardrum there. So it's just kind of lingering around that area. Not an easy one to get away, and this is the really sensitive part of the ear here. It's very, very sensitive. It's right on top of bone. This is actually surrounded by the skull. So I'm just going to clip this away. We've exposed the eardrum. We can see there we've got rid of the problem. The rest of this now, lots of olive oil going in over the next couple of days just to soften those last pieces. Next bath or shower, they're going to come out on their own. But eardrum looking much, much better on that one.
Ah, same story on the other side. Same story on the other side.
Yeah, so you've kind of given your arms a bit of a break. You've got the blood flow back to your fingers, then you carry on with this one. So we're just same kind of story on this one. Exactly the same type of wax. Lots of skin. We can see that keratin there. Keep referring to it as skin. Obviously, it is keratin. You know, we could keep seeing keratin all the time. I'll keep dropping back into skin more than likely, but it is keratin that's coming away here. Just pulling from the side, trying to get these pieces away here. It just doesn't want to budge very easily. Bit of olive oil's gone in.
And the vision is not perfect either, because you've got a narrow ear canal, and you've got all the cilia that's kind of just, you could see just that kind of almost, well, luckily they're not long, so it's not completely blocking our view, but
we've got a very pronounced first bend. It goes in at quite an angle straight away, and we've got this slight sort of lump on the side of the canal wall there as well, which is, so your ear canal almost ends up kind of kidney bean shaped at the entrance. And you'll guarantee beyond that it'll go back to a normal kind of more rounded shape. So you're trying to get a round hard plug past this kidney bean shape, and it just doesn't want to budge. Yeah,
exactly as you just said there. When they're quite hard like this, you know, this kind of really big plug, and you've got this really narrow sort of small little gap at the entrance. It's so tricky to remove.
Yeah,
you can wiggle it as much as you want, and it just really won't go anywhere a lot of the time. So you're having to try and break little bits away like this just to try and create more space.
Yeah. Now I can see there is a little gap. Just, oh, look at that for timing. Just that top left-hand corner on the other side. So we're going to go in with the St. Bart's hook. If I can get beyond that gap, I've got a chance of scooping this around the corner. So let's see if we can drop nearly. There we are. Now we're behind. Let's see if we can pull this around. Just skipped off the top there. Sometimes if the plug is really, really hard, it'll just kind of skip off the surface rather than get that good grip beyond it. Keep dropping in behind again. Let's see if we can pull him around. We've got to get it around, don't forget, around that kidney bean shape.
Oh, it's moving.
It's moving, it's getting there. Yeah, I think that's going to go.
I was going to say, you just kind of, oh, there we go.
Just a scoop around, there we are, there's that. You can see just how hard that was, how that St. Bart's hook just flicked off the top of there then. Rosen insert would be no good for this, you just wouldn't have enough of a sort of, what, it's too thin, that's the word I was trying to say. It's too thin. So you go, you see you've got these little bits now, and as we've taken this out, the whole thing's just broken apart into these smaller pieces. Let's see if we can wiggle this piece around the bend. There we go.
Oh,
still holding on in there. It doesn't want to come away.
That's what we were just saying about that wiggling. Yeah, you can see that tail piece.
That tail piece beyond it.
God, was a lot in there.
That was a fair old amount, wasn't there? That was a fair old amount in there.
It surprises us half the time. With, you know, you look in the ear, kind of think, oh yeah, it looks like there's a lot in there, but then you don't actually realise how much is actually in there.
There we go. Oh, nearly. It's on its way. It's nearly there. There we go. Out that comes. That took a lot of scooping just because I didn't want to leave a lot tucked around that little lump in the ear canal there. So let's take a look beyond that. How are we looking out? Oh, there we go. A lot better there. Eardrum looking lovely and healthy as well. So this is what it looked like before, and you can see really, really messy, but much cleaner. It doesn't quite go down as far as the eardrum. Oh, I've spaced out a bit. If we squished that together, it was so, it was so sticky I couldn't get it to go together on the thing. So 5 centimeters to probably 2 inches, I would say, on that one. Yeah, thereabouts. We squish it all together.
Oh, so here we go. This is the foreign body. So it's a bit of an interesting one because, again, it's not something that we tend to see very often at all.
Definitely not.
Now, this is, oh, excuse me, this is actually a whole receiver. So we've had a patient come through saying that they've lost, well, when they booked the appointment, they said they lost their dome off the hearing aid. We've got this patient in, and you can see that the whole receiver is snapped off the end. This is basically an end of a hearing aid. Now you'll see, look how tightly wedged this is in the ear. I'm actually, what's this, the Rosen insert?
That's Rosen insert.
I've got the Rosen insert there just to try and tack around the side of that receiver. But you can see how tight this is in the ear. It's just flicking back into its usual place. So it's going to be a little bit more tricky than what I thought it was going to remove. You'll see it here now. There we go, straight back into place, really, really tightly wedged in here.
Just so you guys know what a receiver is, when we talk about a receiver is part of a hearing aid, so it's what they call a receiver in the canal hearing aid. So the bit you can see there with the blue mark and the writing on is actually a speaker unit that attaches to a dome which sits inside the ear canal, which is then attached to the hearing aid. So there's normally a wire coming off the back of this which attaches to the hearing aid. But that's completely sheared off, isn't it?
Yeah. Now I wanted to see if this dome would just kind of slide and roll here, but
God, that is wedged in there.
Yeah. So it's not going to go anywhere because basically that receiver is just kind of anchoring this dome in place. This side on your screen.
Is the receiver too wide then to get the crocodile forceps on as well?
Yeah.
So you just can't get the grip on it?
I think I did try it. I'm not sure if it's in the video, but I think I did try it. So what I've had to do here, I've got, the Jobson horn has obviously come out.
Wow, that is so wedged.
So you will eventually see in a second, patient was starting to understandably feel a little bit of like tweaks in the ear now where this is moving around. So what we have had to try and do here eventually is just, as I've pulled it down, I've had to try and just get behind that. Yes, it's going to be impossible almost because it's just flicking back into place so quickly.
The thing is, it's not designed to be in this angle, is it? In the ear canal, that's the thing. Oh my gosh, that is so solid in there.
Bless her. It is, yeah. So it's the Jobson horn which works here. So you can see I'm like kind of wiggling it just to try and work my way back there. So I've had to put a little bit, I've explained this to the patient that if there's any discomfort at this point, let me know. But I've had to put a little bit of pressure here just to try and just move that receiver in, and you will see it in a second. It will hold in place.
So that dome is effectively anchoring this in place. So as we're pulling it down, we've got a rubber dome, which is why it keeps flicking back up all the time.
And I've moved you can see I've moved the Jobson horn further back, and I'm just doing this little motion here to try and dislodge that dome slightly.
Yeah, it's starting to move.
You can see it starting to move here now. So as I move the Jobson horn away, you can see that's now repositioned. So dome's in a slightly different place. We can see the receiver's now not anchoring this so much into position. I did explain to the patient there's maybe a little bit of pressure here, but you can see that, there we go.
Wow.
Popped out.
That was wedged in there, wasn't it?
There's no ruler shot, guys, unfortunately, only because the patient actually wanted to take it away with them, so I couldn't do any ruler shots.
Yeah, so it's not uncommon for patients want to take their wax away or take whatever you've taken out of their ears away with them sometimes. That was difficult. That was a tough
really
one to
tricky
do.
one, and that's actually the second time that I've done this for the same patient. And Yeah, we would, and these hearing aids are not from us. Just to put that out there.
And they're not designed to pop off like that either, are they? Do you know what I mean? They're designed to stay quite. You do get some sort of wearing down, but it's really unusual for that to. It must have been really frayed before the patient put it in and just sheared off. Then go.
Yeah.
Get Oh, right.
Cup of tea now.
Cup of tea, that's right. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching our video again today. And as always, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. And myself and the lovely Mr. Taylor Green. We'll see you again real soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
So if you start us off and I'll do the first bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Oh, sorry. 3, 2, 1. 0. You started.
Yeah.
Let's do that again. So 3, 2, 1, go.
You're not pressing play.
Oh, am I not? Oh, I keep my finger on. Right, okay, sorry, buddy. You went away, you weren't saying anything.
I was just, we did.
I was like, what was he not saying? Okay, wait, so I'll try that again. 3, 2, 1.